Located in the heart of Cairo, spanning to the pre-dynastic era to the Greco-Roman era, and considered to be one of the most popular touristic Egyptian destination in the world, Minna Dessouina cruise.
Sir, oh, a pleasure. Of course, Egypt was ranked, of course, as a must-see country in 2022. Could you tell us the reason, please, sir?
Well, Egypt is always a must-see country. Since ages, since hundreds of years, it's a must-see. It's it is a must-see because of all what we have to offer to our guests, to the tourists. If you're looking for anything, it's almost here. If you're looking for history, of course. If you're looking for nature, beaches, adventures, you name it. Even now, with modern places, modern cities, modern places to go, we also have this. So definitely, it's a must-seen, and it's always, almost each year, Egypt is chosen from a site or another, or a news network or another, to be a must-seen destination in the world. So, and also because of what we offer to our guests in the past 2 years, especially after the pandemic of Corona, with the high level of safety and security and health we are giving to our guests. So that's another reason why Egypt is chosen to be a must-seen destination.
Sir, Egypt, of course, this year and every year, we have new archaeological discoveries that rewrite the history of Egypt. Of course, it's always written. How, from your point of view or from your own perspective, can we invest in these discoveries?
Well, discoveries are it's always put a new piece of the history puzzle. History is like a puzzle, so whenever we have a new discovery, that adds up to that puzzle. So that means we know more about our history, we know more about ancient Egyptians. Not all of these discoveries have to be good for tourism, but they are all good for history, especially places like Saqqara, where most of the discoveries are discovered, because it is a big necropolis since even before the Old Kingdom throughout Egyptian history. So definitely it helped Egypt, first of all, to put Egypt on the map of the new world news in a good way. So that means Egypt is always there in discoveries. It gives the people out there an idea about things are, good, and things are exactly, yes. So because having discoveries like this, that means the situation in that country is calm. So definitely this is a good thing. And also having the ministry is always doing like conference to announce these discoveries. They invite ambassadors, they invite journalists from all over the world, so they give and they write about these discoveries in a good way. And also it helps the history and the historians to add more to the puzzle, so we know more about our great-grandfathers.
Okay, of course, sir, the Road of Rams, or the Sphinx Avenue, which was reopened in Luxor, is considered as one of the most important archaeological projects undertaken by the state. What is the significance of this project, and how far did the amazing, of course, inauguration enhance the classical tourism, putting into consideration that the entire world, of course, witnessed this amazing inauguration, which we all were really touched and proud that we were Egyptian on that special day?
The Avenue of the Sphinx is it's a huge project. It's been working since 70 years, since it was first discovered back in the mid 1940s until last year when it was opened. So it's almost 70 or even more years of discoveries and archaeological work. And at the end, it was the amazing inauguration, the amazing introduction of this great.
It was one of the very different, unbelievable, really touching in light of the corona virus pandemic. It was really spectacular when we were watching, and the entire world was watching. It was really different. The Egyptians are defying the entire world in light of a very difficult pandemic, but we are still the Egyptians and the Pharaoh.
Exactly, alongside with the Golden Parade of the Mummies from here, this particular place in April 2021. Both of these events, they were world-class events, really, I have to say. This is not me, this is all the feedback from our clients, from our friends abroad. People who are going crazy, you can do it, this is amazing, we have never seen anything like this before, especially singing in the ancient Egyptian language. That was, you know, an amazing idea really for the people to hear it. You know, it's everybody was asking, what's this language? First they thought it's an Italian opera, and then they realized, and we told them, no, this is ancient, this is a real ancient Egyptian language, it's ancient Egyptian songs. So they were really keen and really anxious to come and see. So these events are, they were a great idea. We need more of them. We need even to have them again in these places, you know, like concerts or events for people to come and see them alive. We can do them more and more and more in the pyramids, in Luxor and Aswan. Can do them everywhere, because this is ours, you know. The singers, everybody were Egyptians, so we have the costumes, everything. So why don't we do it again and again and again? These concerts will bring thousands of people who are keen and really anxious to see and hear, you know, lively, not just on TV. So, and I know we will have something even much better for the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, hopefully soon.
So Ahmed, we can name it Made in Egypt, the entire event?
Definitely.
Yes.
Even, you know, if you look into details, all the details of these events, I mean, dances and how the clothing, everything, it was all taken from the ancient Egyptian temples and tombs. You know, they were drawings and carvings exactly the same. Even the light bulbs the dancers were holding. These are that's what the dancers in the temples used to hold. It's that's like the sun. They're holding the sun. That's so all details. It's totally made in Egypt. Everything is made in Egypt. So this is exactly that's why we were very proud of it. That's why we were very proud.
Okay, so reopening several museums emphasizes the unprecedented support that the state, of course, gives the tourism and antiquities sector. What is your intake on this, sir?
We have many thousands of pieces that are not on display, so it was a good decision to have part of these pieces and artifacts to display on other museums away from the Egyptian Museum and away from the main museums, especially in Hurghada, Sharm el-Sheikh. These are touristic attractions that we need to have even more attractions at these places. So for the people staying in Hurghada or Sharm, that they don't want or they don't or they can't come to Cairo or go to Luxor for a day or two, they still can see part of our history just next to their hotels. So, and the good thing is that was in cooperation between the Ministry of Antiquities and private sector. So that is a great decision, I have to say, and I hope we can have even more of this everywhere else. You know, there are places, we are now have new cities that definitely will need and will have to do new museums at these new cities as part of attractions at these new cities.
As part of the Tourism and Antiquities Ministry, the strategy for digital transformation. Some museums operated e-payment machines for museum entry tickets, and the Egyptian Museum is one of them, of course. We are at the Egyptian Museum. Would you tell us more about the move and its significance and the ministry's projects to develop a visitor service, and how did it work after it was in action and you started activating it?
Well, the whole world is going online and everything, finance, one day we'll see humans.
You think so?
You'll never know.
Okay. How is it facilitated, sir? How is it moving on?
Most of the guests, most of the tourists now, or most of the countries
have introduced it before since a long time. So for the tourists, it's okay and it's normal. Okay, and here the people that are responsible for this, how do they move on and do their work? Is it facilitated with them? Are they okay with doing it? Are they very aware of what they're doing?
Well, I think so. Yes, definitely. As I told you, the whole world is going for e-commerce. So abroad, most of the people now, they go with what we call plastic money, credit cards.
We started plastic money here in Egypt. The 10 pounds already is issued.
It is going. So that's definitely why we should have e-payment services in all the sites, the museum, the permits, everywhere. We need even more, because that's really more easier for everybody, for the tourism ministry, for the guests, for everybody. You know, you don't have to stay for long and counting money, especially if you have a big group. You're talking about thousands of pounds. But now it just all go with just click of 2-3 buttons, and then you have all the money. So definitely, that makes life easier for everybody. We hope we have more of these services and other services in all the sites. There are many sites that need to be upgraded, or we have to uplift the services around it. The site itself is great and it's amazing and everything, but what we call the wraparound services, some of them are not that up to the standard of the greatness of the places itself. So hopefully in the future we have some upgrades to these services and make life easier even in other things, not just payment, but visiting itself, especially for the disabled people, you know, in the public toilets. Many things needs to be upgraded so they can reflect the greatness of Egypt and the greatness of the sites itself.
Mr. Ahmed, do you believe that the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum, the GEM, will change the map of tourism in Cairo or in Egypt?
Definitely, of course, yes. That's a long-awaited project to be opened from all over the world, and people are asking really anxiously when it's going to open. When it's open, definitely it will bring us more business just to come and see this huge, amazing project, where for the first time the entire collection of King Tut will be displayed all together, since it was discovered 100 years ago. And I think that definitely will change the map, because I think that museum itself will need a whole day. So we can easily add 1 day in Cairo. That will give us more days in Egypt in total for the what we call the classical programs. I mean, the programs are coming to see history of Egypt. So definitely, that's a great ad, and we are all waiting for it.
When do you imagine we're going to be inaugurating the gem, sir?
Nothing solid so far, but I think it will be next November, hopefully. That's
November coincides with the COP27.
This is what I heard. I don't know. Maybe later, but yani, we are all waiting for it to be as soon as possible. You know, even if it's tomorrow, we'll be very happy.
We've been longer waiting anyway. Hopefully, before the end of this year, we'll be opening it. What are Egypt's chances to occupy a leading position among religious tourism?
Egypt, I have to say, we are not in a good position for tourism. It's a fact. We both for all tourism sectors, we deserve more and more, especially tourism, especially the path of the Holy Family. You know, it's almost all through Egypt, from Al Arish and Sinai in the north, all the way to Asyut in the south. So this is a long way. We don't have to put all this path, but at least some highlights. If we do it right, this will bring us millions, because imagine going to the places that Virgin Mary and Jesus Christ stayed in. You know, this is the place where they actually stayed in. So this is going to be amazing. Even for Judaism, even for Islam, you know, we have all these mosques or these that's called Islamic saints. You know, it's all over. So definitely we can have more. It just we, as I told you, need the wraparound services around these places, the hotels, ease of access, ease of transportation, shops, eat. You know, many these services needs to be done first. Then we will have millions of visitors.
How new roads systems support the country's economy in general and tourism especially?
Any country needs an infrastructure to build all other aspects of economical activities, including tourism. So definitely having new roads that will make life easier for tourists to go to sites and come back to their hotels, instead of taking it an hour or so. It now takes less, 30-40 minutes. We all feel this. You know, I used to take between my home and my work, it was almost an hour and a half daily. Now just 30-40 minutes maximum. It's amazing. So yes, that's, and also this will encourage even to put the new cities on the map of tourism. You know, you don't just come to Egypt to see the highlights, the history, but also to see modern Egypt. This is main thing. That's a part that we need to add to our programs, and the roads definitely will help us about that. And also the new roads, it's more safer. Even the accidents on the road fell down by almost 15% before compared to before these roads. So definitely it's helping in every way.
Sir, finally, Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, Dr. Khaled Anani, stressed and emphasized on the importance of working to raise tourism and archaeological awareness in the coming period, especially for children and students across all schools in the Republic. How, from your own point of view, do we encourage youth and children to know more about their heritage and, of course, about Egypt?
Um, all Egyptians need to know about their history, their great history that the whole world is studying, by the way, as part of human history. We need to encourage them to know more. We need to encourage them to come and visit and respect the places, respect the history. We need also to teach them the history in a nice way, or in a way that makes them love and cherish and respect this history. Not just points or things. No, it needs to be like a story. It needs to be something interesting for them to read and to love and to really cherish. So I think that's a good step in this direction. We need more steps. We need to teach history in, as I said, in an interesting way. Just when I see the history of my kids, they studying, it's a little bit dull. It needs to be more interesting, especially now, with the exposure to the world. They see everything. Everything is on the internet. Everything is it's different concept.
We were discussing in today's episode that we are enhancing, of course, film shooting. We're enhancing photography, and the Parliament gave the resolution the okay for photography in public for such places like this, which is an amazing achievement. So hopefully it's going to be better, and it's going to be stronger, and it's going to be more interesting for the students to understand when it's through films and things that they think it's not studying literally.
Exactly, yes. That was a great move. Thanks to come late, better than not coming at all. So, and hopefully also for the commercial filming, I heard it's becoming easier and easier. Exactly. So, yes, there are other countries that this is part of their national income, and they don't have 1/10 of what we have in terms of places to shoot and equipment itself. We are the first country in the region to start movie business, to start TV business, so it should be us.
Mr. Ahmed Badr, a touristic expert, thank you so much for joining us here at the Egyptian Museum, of course, in Tahrir in Cairo. We had all the pleasure, sir, and it's always a pleasure to have you with us and your informative knowledge. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, and it's always my pleasure.
مصر الجميلة بتناديك وكل ايد ممدودة ليك ويا رب يبقى الجاي خير وأمان سحر الطبيعة هرم ونيل وسهر